It is day 2, week 3. Today we're going to take a look at some previous 8th grade iLearn questions. And so as you can see, it gives you a ton of information. And so the first thing I like to do is just read the question. The diameter of the model should represent a human head that is closer to the larger end of the range of actual dimensions, but not over. Which measure is the most reasonable diameter for the circular cardboard model? So here's what it says. The circumference of a human head varies from about 20 to 27 inches. Well, it said that it should be closer to the larger end of the range. So we want to go to the bigger side. And so it's with that information, we want to know what the diameter is. So we can go to this formula over here. It says formula for a circumference of a circle is C equals 2 pi times radius. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 27 because I want to be closer to the larger end, is equal to, because 27 is the circumference, it's equal to 2 times pi times the radius. And I don't know what the radius is, so I'm just going to work backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my calculator and I'm going to do this equation, but I'm going to do it backwards. So I would start with 27. To get rid of a times 2, I would divide by 2. And so divide by 2. All right, then I'm going to take that answer, 13.5. And I'm going to divide it, because the 2's cancel and I'm just left with pi and radius over here. And I'm going to divide it by pi. Okay. Now, so divide that by pi. That gives me 4.297. So we're going to round it to the nearest tenth. We're going to call it 4.3. 4.3. That tells me the radius. The radius is half of the diameter. I need to know what the diameter is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the diameter by 2, which is going to give me 8.6. Now, it says, which is the most reasonable diameter for the circular cardboard model? Well, 8.6. Well, here's the problem. We've got 8 and we've got 9. But, this is really important, but not over. So I have to say C, because 9 would be too big. 9 is bigger than 8.6. It cannot go over that. So I'm going to go with 8 inches to be my best option there. Question 2 says each rung of the ladder in Kid Kingdom has a circumference of 2 4/5 inches. Refer to figure 2 to determine whether this ladder will pass the safety inspection. The diameter of each rung must satisfy the inequality 0.95 inches. So the diameter has to be greater than 0.95 and it has to be less than 1.55, right? So you're going to take, this is the circumference. It's giving you the circumference formula here. 2 4/5 is equal to 2 times pi times the radius. And you're going to do the same thing. We're going to convert this to decimals because it'll make it easier. So this is 2.8. And then it's going to equal 2 pi. So you're going to go back to your calculator And really all you have to do is you don't have to write this necessarily down. You could go 2.8 divided by 2 divided by pi, right? So 2.8 divided by 2 divided by pi divided by 2 gives me 1.4. So we take 1.4 and divide it by pi. It gives me 0.445. So we're going to write that down, 0.445. Oh, I didn't need a decimal there. 0.445. And so that's the radius. So once I know that, I'm going to estimate it as 0.445. And then the diameter would be twice that. So I'm going to multiply by 2. It gives me 0.89. So we're going to say that the diameter is 0.89. And so that's what we would put here, 0.89. And then we look at this. Is 0.89 greater than 0.95? No, it's not. So this is automatically a fail. Go on to the next question here. So the next question says, examine the information for the slide figure. Refer to the figure 4 for description of the height and length of the slide. The height of the horizontal length ratio shown in figure should be 0.57, should not exceed 0.577. The flat portion at the bottom of the slide is called the slide exit. So when we're talking about, this is the slide exit right here. And then the height platform exit, right? We're talking about from here to here. And we're saying it should be 0.577. Now, the flat portion of the bottom of the slide is called the slide exit. What is the ratio of the height to the horizontal length of the slide and slide kingdom? So we know that this is 5 because down here in this image, it tells me it's 5. I know that this here is 9. Okay. And it says, what's the ratio? So I got to figure out what this is. This is Pythagorean theorem. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 9 squared minus 5 squared is going to equal, we'll call it b squared. And you're just going to pull up your calculator and do it on the calculator. So 9 squared minus 5 squared gives you 56. You're going to take the square root of 56, 7.4. So we're going to write that b is equal to 7.4. Now it says, what's the ratio of the height of the horizontal length of the slide, of the height to the horizontal? So the height, right, is 5. And the length, or horizontal length, is 7.4. So it's 5 to 7.4. So, and it says the straight across, not the slanted. So it wants to know this part compared to this part, which it would be 5 per 7.4. We're going to go ahead and skip this one so we can get onto our assignment today, but it's the same type of stuff. So actual distance between the swings and end post must meet or exceed the distance. So you got to figure out these distances here. And I don't know if it tells you. Let's see what it tells you. The horizontal distance from the top of the end post to the place where it swings is, so D1 is 30. we'll just do this real quick. This is 30. D2 is 20. Or 24. And D3 is 20. Is it possible for Kid Kingdom swing set to meet these swing safety guidelines, provide all necessary information? So the actual distance between the swings and the end post must meet or exceed the minimum distance requirements. So 5 and 1. The given information will be useful to answering the questions below. A squared equals this. Kid Kingdom is building a new playground with safety inspections. New playground contains a ladder, rope slide, swing set. This task determine the playground passes. You're the safety inspector. So the ladder, slide, the swing set. I hope I got to move this box so we can see what it says. Well, that poses a bit of a problem, doesn't it? We'll get rid. It says the number of swings is 4. The length from the end of the post to the end of the post top 16 feet. So what it's saying is that in the swing set, let's bring back our pencil stuff. Let's see. All right, so in our swing set drawing, which we want to be here, number 7, we want it to be this one. We want this whole thing here to be 16 feet, right? And so if this piece is 30 inches and this piece is 30 inches, so easiest way to do this, pull up a calculator. 16 feet, remember it's 12 feet per foot, so it's 16 times 12, right, equals 192. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to subtract this. D1 is 30, so we're going to minus 30. Here, let's do this the easy way. We got 12 there, so we'll just do it 192 minus 30. Then we got a D3 section, so we got 162 minus a D3, which is 20. Then we got 142. We've got a D2 section, which is 24 inches, so minus 24. So then we got 118 minus another D3 section, so minus 20. And then we got a 98, and we're going to minus another D1 section, so we're going to minus 30. So 68, we have 68 inches. We're short 68 inches for this. So it says the length from end post to end post, right, from here to here is 16 feet. And it says actual distance between the swing and end post must meet or exceed the minimum distance required. So this is saying that the minimum distance requirement is 16. So would this work? We were short 68 inches. So this is going to be not 16 feet. It needs to be longer. For this question, it says you have been assigned to determine whether the rope climber, slide, and swing set for each piece of equipment listed. Okay, so the rope climber, enter the fail. So rope climber was the shape of the net opening approximately square. Circumference, measure diagonals, square 5.5, 5 and 9/16, 5 and 1/2. The slide, length of the slide, not including slide exit, 9 feet. Height, and a platform above 5 feet. So, did it pass or fail? And so, if you remember correctly, the slide failed. You just go back and enter what you put and stuff for the answer. So, slide failed. The swing set failed, so it wouldn't work. We're going to do some Edulastic today. So this will come up and look like your first answer. They're review questions, honestly. Most of them have nothing to do with the assignment that we just went over. So take your time, do the best you can. Honestly, if you're not sure how to do them, go ahead and take the time and Google them.